because I want you to understand that being alone is not a punishment. It's a preparation. You're not being punished with loneliness. You're being carved out, refined. You're given space to hear yourself think, because when everything quiets down, this is when your mind starts to really speak to you and speaks about your purpose. You can't hear your purpose with everybody else's noises around you, with everybody else telling you what they want you to be. Once you find that peace and quiet is where you really start to hear your purpose come. Welcome back to The Beast Within. I'm your host, Aaron Saltzman, and thank you for joining us today on overcoming our next beast at hand. This beast today is one that actually many people get confused, and there is a way to transform this beast into working for you instead of against you. You're gonna see the beauty in this beast and how we can transform it from a negative to a positive. So today's beast, it's the difference between being alone and being lonely. You see, today's beast is the lonely beast. And the lonely beast doesn't really care, right? It will convince you that you're alone and that there's something missing. It tells you you must not be good enough. You must not be doing well enough. People don't care about you. People don't care about what it is that you're doing. What if no one ever supports me? Maybe you're just not lovable enough. But you see, here's the truth. Being alone is not the absence of connection, but it's the presence of opportunity. It's a sacred space, a training ground, if you will. It's your position to start working on the things that you've promised yourself you were going to work on from day one without the distraction. A season that strips away the distraction so you can finally meet the real you and open up to becoming the best version of yourself, which is what we are here to do on The Beast Within. You see, the season that you go through while facing this beast might feel empty, but it's not. It's full of space for you to build, to heal, and to align into the person that you want to become. Not everyone gets a seat at your table, you see, especially not while you're building it. Think about it this way. You're the cook in the kitchen, and you need to prep and work on your skill set before you invite people to your dinner table to eventually share that meal with. You see, the version of you who finishes this build, they're not lonely. They're actually surrounded by people who see them for who they really are, who match their level of intensity and match their level of success, and who also earned a seat at that table. You got to be very careful for who you offer a seat at your table to, because many will just want to completely steal from you and not allow you to eat as well. And you see, there's a beauty in solitude, with the courage to face this lonely beast and see it for what it really is. The ability to separate yourself from distraction, because the fullest you, the best version of you, the well-developed you that you're chasing needs this full attention, because coming out of the old you, shedding off the skin and becoming the best you possible, let me tell you, it's a journey in itself. It takes a lot of dedication, and the biggest thing that it takes is focus. If you are not fully focused on becoming this version of yourself, if you're trying to half-ass it, you'll never reach your fullest potential. You have to go all in, above and beyond what you even think is possible within yourself. You need to meet yourself not only where you're at, but push yourself to become the next model of the version of you. So with this in mind, here's our quote for today by Wayne Dyer. So the quote goes, "Lonely if you like the person you're alone with." And that's the beauty in being alone versus being lonely. Because you see, you can be in a crowd full of people, and it doesn't mean that you're not alone. And you can be by yourself, and it doesn't mean that you're lonely. Because if you can love the version of you that you have created, if you can find the beauty in the person that you get to be with every single day, then you're not alone. You're not lonely. You're in solitude of helping yourself develop into the person that you want to be. What does this beast sound like? What does the lonely beast sound like? What is the negative cons of this beast? And what does it do to you? You see, this beast whispers quietly in your head. It convinces you that solitude is failure instead of a season of growth. Let me give you an example. During this process of what I'm going through with the beast within, developing this podcast and ultimately trying to turn this into a full throttle business, being up in front of millions, helping people get through their inner beasts. Well, you see, there's solitude in the beginning of all of this process, because I need to build this process into what it needs to be. I need to build this into the best available process it can be in order to have a systematic approach on helping everybody else. But I have to do that in solitude first. I have to design before the creation comes to life. Well, your life is no different. Your goals are no different. And your ambitions, your fullest potential is no different. You have to go through the systematic approach of becoming the version of yourself before you get to endeavor on the beautiful journey that is the new welcoming you. And the great thing about that is when you climb this mountain, when you get to the point where you're looking for to become the person you want to become, well, this is where you find your people. This is where you find your community. And guess what? These people have gone through the sacrifices and the solitude as well to become their best version of themselves. And the great thing about that is these people that now become your community, now pull you out from being in solitude or alone, well, these people have also worked on themselves. And so they have built the foundation, the trust, the ability to be kind and understand what you've been through. Not only that, they're going to be well developed. They're going to give you skill sets that you didn't have prior to going into these relationships. So just understand that this beast is going to say all of these negative things, but if you can clear that from your mind and understand that being alone and being lonely are two completely different things. Everyone has their people, and we want to make sure that these people are supportive of you trying to become the best version of yourself. You see, some people can create insecurities in you. They can not support your journey. And so wouldn't being alone be better than hanging out with these people? Wouldn't being alone and spending the time loving your version of your new self and working on that version be better than spending time with people who are only dragging you down? So this lonely beast tries to tell us that maybe I should just stay close to the people I'm with. Even if they drain me, even if they're negative, even if they don't bring good value to my life, I have a fear of isolation. And this fear of isolation is disguising itself as this lonely beast. It's making you think that you need loyalty from people who don't deserve it. And so we need to find a way to put that down and understand that this alone time that you're going to have with yourself is to work on your better self. Now in this alone beast, whenever you're alone, again, we're flipping the script. We're turning this negative lonely beast to the alone beast in a positive. Because what do you get to do now with the alone beast? Well, you get to spend some time with yourself. You get to see for the real you on what you want to create. You get to work on yourself. You get to do things such as journal, writing things down that are going to help benefit you into becoming this new version of yourself. You get to go to bed early. Well, by going to bed early, now you're giving yourself energy to work on the things that you want to work on next later in the day. You also get to work on finding the kind of people that you want to be around instead of dealing with the kind of people that you're currently around. Because that's the big one, is because you're lonely, you are willing to sacrifice being around people that are going to help benefit you towards reaching your fullest potential. Now, one thing that I had to get over, and one thing that you're going to have to work on, is when you're alone, you have to learn to clap for your damn self. Because no one might be clapping for you just yet. But understand, after you put in the repetitions of becoming the better version of yourself, after you come out the other side and are happy and in love with the person that you've become, well, now people just start coming out of the woodworks and people start clapping and giving you the credentials that you deserve. You deserve your right to have people understand and have proof that you are the person that you are. Resilience, and with repetition, you will eventually develop that cheer for not only other people cheering for you, but you cheering for yourself. You see, growth often happens in silence, and applause comes after the mastery. You're not being ignored, you're being forged to be a better version of yourself. Just like an artist, you don't see all the practice that's happening. You see the beautiful symphony or whatever performance that they have put on that draws in the applause. but you haven't seen the repetitions that they're doing on the inside, the alone time that they have spent on the inside. So I challenge you to maneuver this beast and look at this beast at a different way. You're not lonely. You're in an alone time of your life, a time of solitude, to become that best version of yourself and to have time, and not only time, but peace to be able to work on the person that you want to be. So what does this lonely beast do? Distracts you from your path. You see, you start chasing company instead of your calling. You stay stuck due to the fact that everybody around you is doing these things as well. You let go of standards just to feel a connection. We hold on to people that don't bring value to our lives because we're so afraid of being alone. And because of this, you become reliant on their validation. You lose the ability to sit with your own thoughts and your own rhythm, and you fall into whatever it is that they have created. And that right there is the problem, because it keeps you in small rooms. It keeps you engulfed in whatever it is that they have going on in their lives. You mold to your surroundings, just like the last beast we talked about, which was the environment beast. Well, let me tell you, I would much rather be alone in my own environment, full of positivity, full of growth, full of development, full of my fullest potential, than to surround myself in an environment of people but bringing no value. People but making me feel less than of myself. People but still feeling lonely. Because like I said, you can be lonely and still be in a crowd of people. We see it all the time. And when you are this kind of person, again, now you're seeking validation. You're seeking validation through others. You're seeking validation through women or significant others. You're seeking validation to be given some form of warmth or some form of development, as if you need them in order to feel better about yourself. What we're here to do is we're here to reframe that, because I want you to understand that being alone is not a punishment. It's a preparation. You're not being punished with loneliness. You're being carved out, refined. You're given space to hear yourself think, because when everything quiets down, this is when your mind starts to really speak to you and speaks about your purpose. You can't hear your purpose with everybody else's noises around you, with everybody else telling you what they want you to be. Once you find that peace and quiet is where you really start to hear your purpose come. And let me tell you, I have lived a very non-purpose life, where I was out all the time, partying, surrounded by friends, 6 a.m. every single night. And I have lived a purpose-driven life. And let me tell you, purpose-driven wins every time. You find the love for yourself. All of a sudden, these insecurities that you once have slowly start to die. They slowly start to go away because you have become the person that you ultimately wanted to become. And that right there is what this beast is going to do for you. By giving yourself solitude, you give yourself peace. Because you see, this lonely beast, it lies to you. It tells you, it says that you're not lovable. But in reality, you're just early. You just haven't found your people who are supposed to love you. You think about relationships, and people jump in relationships back and forth, right? They go in from one to the next and the next and the next, and they don't give themselves time to find their true love or the people that they're supposed to be surrounded by, because they're too occupied going from one to the next to the next. They're too afraid of finding that peace within. They're too afraid of being alone. But you see, being alone is not the end. It's the elevation, right? Solitude creates space for the following breakthroughs that I'm going to go over with you right now. Number one is you meet the real version of yourself with no distractions, no masks, no role plays, and no involvement of anybody else, just you. Raw, honest, and capable of transformation. This is where identity is formed. You stop performing and you start becoming. You stop putting on an act to please others, and you start to work on your true identity. That's number one. Number two, you build self-trust. You keep promises to yourself. You show up whenever there's nobody applauding. So this right here, let me tell you, in the gym, in my life, I live my life with integrity. This is the true identity of integrity. Self-trust and doing what needs to be done without any applause, without anybody else seeing. You see, this builds confidence that no one will ever take away from you and that you will utilize in every single aspect of your life. Because integrity, it can never be stolen from you. It's something that you will always have and something that people will admire from you. So don't look at this alone beast as a negative. You're building tools and you're leveling up. And that is the next one. You level up faster. Again, let me say that. You level up faster. Without distractions, your focus sharpens. Progress compounds and multiplies, and you're no longer being pulled in different directions. You have no longer people saying you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to go here. You're building from the ground up and straight up without any detours. So that's the beauty in it. And the other beauty is you attract people who are very similar to you. Whatever energy, you've heard this, I'm sure, millions of times. The energy you put out, you get back. And so whenever you are aligned with your goals, when you're aligned with your ambitions, when you're aligned with your fullest potential, you attract people who also follow down this path. You see, once you've walked the hard road of solitude, you're no longer drawn to the outside noise, right? You're drawn to the success of where you're working towards. You find others who have done the hard work too. And let me say this, when you're surrounded by people who have done the hard work, there's no limitation on to where you can go. And I have proven this in my life. I surround myself right now with people who have done the hard work, and there is no doubt in my mind where our visions are going to come to reality because we've put in the work already. We've already done the hard part. We've already created the tools. Now all you have to do is build. That part is simple. And now you're building with people who you can trust. You're building with people who have built the tools necessary in order to grow to the fullest potential. So please stop fearing loss by being alone. Understand that being alone is a gift and it's going to help you get to the next level. And not only that, being alone will outbeat being surrounded by the wrong people all the time. So the great thing about being alone is you become dangerous in the best way. Not dangerous to others, not dangerous to yourself, but dangerous to your excuses, dangerous to bad habits, dangerous to, this one means the most to me, dangerous to your self-sabotage. Because self-sabotage is driven through what? Driven through insecurities. Self-sabotage is something that we do because we think we're not worthy of whatever it is we're trying to accomplish. So we self-sabotage. We put ourselves back, way back, so that way we have to go through the climb of just getting back to where we are to be stagnant and instead of driving towards the goals that we have in mind. So that's the beauty. It's dangerous to every limitation that once kept you small. It's putting that all to rest, allowing you to come to a place of peace and allowing you to find your new community. When you fully step into your solitude, you step into power. And from that power, you don't attract just any crowd. You attract the right crew. You attract the right people who are going to help you build the right life that you've always wanted. So please, again, we are going to utilize being alone as not a negative. The lonely beast is actually the alone superpower because it eliminates distraction, it eliminates noise, and when you eliminate noise, you finally can hear your inner voice. You build self-trust, like we mentioned. You don't outsource your worth, right? You become whole. And then you choose the right relationships full of fullness instead of emptiness because you yourself have become whole. And when you're whole, you seek that in others. You reach out to people who also are seeking people with good influence, aspirations. You learn the discipline to stay within your discomfort. You sit within your discomfort and you become better because of it. You attract better people by becoming someone better yourself. So how do we get to this, right? How do we flip the script of being alone as a loneliness and a scared thing versus, wow, I get to spend some time on myself? Well, tool number one, and the easiest one that we're gonna have is redefine your season. What do I mean by that? Understand that you're not in isolation, you're in an incubation. This isn't punishment, it's preparation. This is your building phase. You're not missing out on anything that's not meant for you. You're building in. That right there is everything because in success, it all stems from inside. It all stems from inner work, not outer work. So stop thinking you're missing out and start thinking you're building in. Because when you build that defined core within you, your core values and the person that you're meant to be, well, now you can share that with the world. Just like I am here today with you guys. I am sharing what I have built inside of me versus just only thinking about the outside. So stop measuring your season by how many people are around you at the moment and start measuring it by how much you're learning, you're healing, and you're realigning. Shift your language from I'm alone to I'm aligning. Great things grow under pressure and in darkness. And the thing is it's okay that when you're in that darkness to not need applause. It's okay for people to not see your value yet. It's okay that people might judge you. People might judge you for being alone. People might judge you for trying something that is unique, for putting yourself out there. They might judge you, but guess what? They're only going to judge you until it works. They're only going to judge you until they see the better side of you and say, oh my God, like this person really came out better on the other side. So really think about who it is you want to become and forget the rest. Go to work by yourself. Go to war with your inner thoughts and become a better version of yourself. Embrace the alone and stop thinking that you're lonely. Tool number 2, build a future room vision. What do I mean by this? Loneliness feels different when you're building something for someone else, even if they're not there yet. So close your eyes and picture a room that you want to be sitting in with the people you want to be sitting in 5 years from now. What does that room look like? What kind of conversations are you having? What version of you do these people respect and want to be around? Start becoming that version now. When you arrive there, if you become that version right now in your head and you start to sit with yourself, okay, what do I want to be? Okay, I want to be this level of confident. Boom. I want to have my finances together so I feel like I can embrace whatever investments that I need to make with these people. Whatever it is, just make sure that you start becoming the version now, work on those tools now, so when you do arrive, you don't feel like an imposter. You don't feel like you don't belong in the room, because if you've truly worked on yourself, if you've truly put in that dedication and spent the hours of being alone to become the best version of yourself, you will feel at home whenever you're in that room. You'll finally feel like this is what I was made for. These are my people. And I promise you that, because you put yourself in the position to fill your community with like-minded people, with people who are just like you. Tool number 3. This is my favorite just because this is what I'm all about. Just move your body daily. Your body is your best teammate. With no one else cheering, your movement is. And what do I mean by that? Yes, other people might not be cheering for you, so you're not seeing the accolades just yet. But if you move your body and you start to see success in your body, you start to see goals coming to fruition because you've spent the time alone to build something, well, you start to build trust in yourself. Now all of a sudden, oh man, if I can do that alone, well, I can do this too. You see, exercise is more than just physical. It's a daily vote for yourself. Devotion to put into yourself. It shifts your energy. It reconnects your mind and body, and it builds belief by showing that you showed up for yourself alone without any applause. Once again, integrity. You've now built the integrity, because even when it's just me, I showed up. Nobody knew that I came to the gym today, but I showed up. Nobody saw the weight that I pushed, but I showed up. Nobody saw the pain and the suffering I went through, but I showed up for myself. And in time, you will meet others who are showing up for themselves too. And those right there, those are your people. Tool number 4, turn solitude into structure. Just like I mentioned before, you want to build a system. And with solitude comes repetition. With repetition comes discipline. With discipline comes the new version of yourself that you won't recognize and nobody else will as well. You see, if you don't direct your energy, your loneliness will. So use this season as your laboratory to go to work on whatever it is that you want to do. And what I mean by turn solitude into structure is make sure that you have a system in play. Okay, my structure is I'm going to bed by 10 p.m. That's it, lights out. Before 10 p.m., by 9:30 p.m., I'm reading my book. That is structure. I'm waking up at X amount or X o'clock, and I'm going to do my stretches and my meditation. That is structure. Because you see, whenever you're by yourself, it's very easy you can fall into habits of structure. But when you have other people surrounding you, well, now you're starting to pick up on their habits. You're starting to develop, oh, they're out till midnight, I'm going to go hang out with them till midnight. You're starting to develop their habits. You're allowing them to dictate your structure. So understand, use tool number 4 to build solitude into your structure. Allow solitude and being alone to build your foundation. Because with that foundation, I promise you, takes you the staircase up to success and to becoming the best version of yourself. Because what happens when you've built structure to go to bed at a reasonable hour? Well, now you're waking up early. What happens when you wake up early? Well, now you get to do the things that you're meant to do in the morning before your day actually starts. For me, what I love about the morning is this is me time. This is my time to work on myself that I know I don't have later in my day. I have a business to run. I have a podcast to run. I have a mindset coaching structure that I'm building. I don't have that time within my day because I'm sitting here putting out fires and growing and building. Again, solitude helps you build structure to wake up early, to do the things that you normally wouldn't do. So understand tool number 4. Discipline turns isolation into transformation. Loneliness doesn't waste you. You waste it when you scroll through it, when you just mindfully pass it by. So utilize solitude as structure. And tool number 5, create a no compromise list. This one's tough. You see, you need to build standards and understand that they're not walls, they're filters, right? You've been alone long enough to realize at this point the wrong people cost you more than no people at all. The wrong people put you down paths that are going to drive you away from your fullest potential. Well, why are you watching this podcast? Why are we here together right now? We're here together to become the fullest person that you possibly can, to reach your fullest potential. So if you're going to surround yourself with people that are going to hold you back from that, why would you ever put yourself in a position to do that? So understand, the wrong people can cost you your fullest potential. So do an audit. Create a no compromise list. For instance, what values are essential for the people around me? What are the people doing around me that I need so I can soak it in from them? And if they're not, well, then I don't want to be around them. What behaviors are deal breakers? What energy are you no longer willing to tolerate? And say no. This isn't about being picky. It's about protecting your inner peace, your vision, your fullest potential, your absolute need to grow. So understand that tool number 5, creating a no compromise list, all this is putting in on a dotted line and no negotiating with yourself that these are the people that I'm not going to surround myself with. I'm not going to listen to that outside noise. You're going to go out drinking at 1 p.m.? Okay, that's on my list, non-negotiable. I'm no longer going to put myself in situations that's going to put myself in that situation to jeopardize my full growth. So use tool number 5, no compromising list, to wean out, not even kick out, to wean out the people that are just not serving you. And if they're not serving you, you're not serving your fullest potential. If you're not serving your fullest potential, you're not serving others. So that is the big thing. If you're chasing your purpose, if you're chasing what is given, so let me define purpose. Purpose is not what fulfills you. It's building yourself to be the person to help fulfill others. Purpose is driven to help better yourself so you can help better others. Help others develop into their purpose, into their fullest potential. That right there is what purpose is. So the last one I'm going to go with is the benefits of being alone. I want you to understand that there's freedom in being alone. Freedom to explore what your passions are. And understanding that by being alone, you're now given the time and the grace to be able to work on these things. So have gratitude for being alone. Understand that solitude creates gratitude. And I'm going to say that one more time. Solitude creates gratitude. Being alone allows you the time to feel gratitude for what it is that you're doing in your life. Fewer compromises, deeper creative thinking, or eventually becoming greater mental resilience, putting you into the person that you want to do. And not only that, building yourself faster and growing stronger boundaries. Again, solitude creates gratitude. And that's the beauty in this beast. That's why the lonely beast becomes the alone beast, but in a good, positive way. Because now you have gratitude for the person that you're becoming. You have gratitude in journaling, in mindset, in meditation, in doing things for you. That's what gratitude is. It's loving yourself for the positions that you put yourself in life. So again, I challenge you to reframe this beast, that it is a beast in a positive way. It is a beast that can fulfill your life. It is a beast that can propel you forward and get you to the point of full potential. So we're going to throw out another quote. The strongest people are not those who show strength in front of the world, but those who fight the silent battles in being alone. And what do I mean by that? The strongest people don't need other people to see their battles. They're willing to go to work on these battles and come out stronger on the other side. Not just stronger, but more well-equipped to fight these battles and to help others fight them as well. Because you see, in this war that you go with in your mind, eventually that war becomes peace. And the battleground stops and the war is over and you find this inner peace. And when you find this inner peace, for me, it was finding my purpose, which is ultimately helping people reach their fullest potential. Once I found that, now everything works for me instead of against me. The war has ended. I wake up excited for the day. I'm ready to go. The war has ended. The battle between myself and my mind has ended. I wake up and I'm ready to go. I sit here and I'm passionate about what I'm doing and the things that I'm talking about. So understand that the strongest people are not those who show the strength in front of the world. It's the people that fight the battles in their head to ultimately become a much stronger person. So understand that with this beast, you are not behind. You are not unlovable. You're not broken. You're in a sacred place, the place where greatness is built. So don't let the lonely beast rush you into rooms that aren't meant for you. Trust the quiet and master your solitude, because when the right people finally show up, you'll be strong enough to keep up and stay at that standard of the person that you have become. So again, utilize this beast as you wish. But my goal for you is to transform this beast into a positive instead of a negative. Being alone, there's beauty in it. So fill up your cup to help others as well. My name is Aaron Saltzman. This is The Beast Within. Again, thank you for joining us with The Lonely Beast and how to transform your mind and find the tools necessary to reach the vision that you ultimately are chasing. Again, my name is Aaron. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We would love to share more inner beasts with you. Listen, we're tackling all these left and right. We're helping you become this version of yourself. So follow along, and we'll see you guys on the other side. Peace.